Hey guys, and welcome back to Twilight Princess. It is time to go liberate Hyrule Castle and free Zelda from the shackles of a poorly thought out endgame.
But first, let's leave the Twilight Realm in complete chaos because their rightful royalty is with us, and their usurper royalty is dead. So they now have no leadership whatsoever. Chaos in the Twilight Realm. Have fun.
There's like 3 buildings, mate.
Well, 3 buildings that we can see and that were actually made models for. But there's an entire world here.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder if there's a South Pole equivalent in the Twilight Realm. That's really hot since everything is kind of reversed in this place.
Oh, and so everything by the Twilight Realm equator is frozen wasteland?
Yeah, you go to the Bahamas. Oh, fuck, I better put on a parka or something. Alright, let's do this shit. And while we're here, you see that little golden nut, we can pick up the final hidden skill. See, I didn't forget it.
Well, at this point, it's kind of impossible to not get, because he's blocking an entryway.
Just wasn't on my route, is what I was going to say, before I was interrupted with the truth.
Yeah, that's what you get.
No postman straps this time, I'm afraid, but it will allow us to just run faster if we stay in wolf form, so it's all good.
It saves frames. It saves frames. Okay, I'm good.
You're not going to freak out? Why am I even in this form, then?
They don't care anymore. They've finally gotten used to the fact that, yes, their castle's in a giant crystal. Who really cares?
I see you boys are earning your paychecks. We're not getting paid at this point. In fact, we're paralyzed with fear. Save our princess.
Yeah, now both realms have no royalty.
Similar cutscene to when you go into Ganon's Tower, or just before Ganon's Tower.
Oh, the Rainbow Road scene? Nice.
Same principle, anyway. Something happens, and it results in you being able to enter the final dungeon.
It's essentially the justification for what would be a programmer's invisible wall.
What the fuck?
Great googly boogly! So, giant hands to stab people is a fraction, but the full form of the Fused Shadow is a spider? It can't even get up. It's like trying to climb a bathtub or something.
Tridents of light, or spears, I guess. Interesting. Midna is loving this shit right now.
Oh, she's been holding it in this entire time. Old Midna's back, and she's back with a vengeance.
And more Twilight-y than ever. I don't know why it starts raining. Apparently she hit the force field so hard it punctured the atmosphere above.
It's dramatic. It's like, oh god, what did I do last night? Well, Midna, it was a crazy night, but it's all over now.
Love that little sting.
Link to the past, baby.
Alright, let's go meet Senor Ancestor and get the final hidden skill.
First we gotta push a door.
It adds drama.
It adds padding.
So, you have come. Yes, like the 6 other times. Let's just get this over with. It's been a while since we last got a hidden skill, so just to remind you, we have a little bit of dialogue, have a cup of tea, maybe a scone. We reconfirm what we learned last time, which I think was the jump strike.
Yes.
Yes, and then we go on to learning something new.
And this house stone was back in the hidden village, so pretty far apart. I always forget that the jump slash has that first uppercut strike. Just because I tend to use it so far away from enemies that I think of it just as a normal jump slash. Just with an extra added shockwave.
That shockwave is really useful. Great spin. Great as the name would imply, but the fact that you have to have your hearts at maximum, and enemies in Twilight Princess can be very flaily, or surprisingly agile when they want to just pip you, kind of makes it a liability.
Yeah, since the game has no magic meter, they had to find some way to, allow you only a certain amount of great spins. So they tie it to your hearts, as there's also no sword beam, which is usually the full heart special attack in Zelda, until the 3D games when they thought it was just a bit too difficult to do. So the spin attack, instead of using a huge chunk of magic, is now tied to being at full hearts. And it doesn't look impressive. It is. It's a much bigger range than your old spin attack. It just doesn't really look that great.
It's okay. It's not like, I think it was the Hurricane Spin in Wind Waker, which not only did a lot of damage, also covered a massive range. Like, you could go pretty far with that thing.
And then left you completely dizzy.
Well, usually everything would be dead by that time. What do we think about this? The line, "Go forth and do not falter, my child." I think it's been confirmed at this point that the hero Shade, Senor Scallywelly back there, is the hero of time.
Yeah, it's word of God, guys. Like, it doesn't matter what you think or feel when Nintendo kind of releases publication and say, yeah, that was our intent, we were doing that. But it was a bit more fun of an idea back when it wasn't confirmed, just because a lot of people were like, oh, he just means child as in, like his apprentice or something.
Yeah.
Or how can he be his son? It's like, child doesn't necessarily imply, direct father-son. Grandparents can also refer to them as children. So, no one's actually saying that Twilight Princess Link is Ocarina of Time Link's son, but that they're part of the same bloodline. So, Link had a kid, that kid had a kid, and so forth, and then eventually ended up with this Link born in farmland.
I like that, because, Majora's Mask is my favourite, so to have a bit of closure on that version of the hero time is nice, but I digress. Hyrule Castle, mate. I think the scale of Twilight Princess, just like the geometry and the world scale, makes this place a really fun environment to travel through. What do you think?
I like that we start in the castle's courtyard, instead of just breaking straight into the castle, which is usually the Zelda protocol.
Yeah.
We're now in the courtyard. No annoying guards that we have to avoid, since they're all probably dead or hiding. But instead, it becomes one giant arena hallway. Like, you're just gonna walk a couple steps, the walls are gonna appear, you're gonna fight enemies. You're gonna kill all the enemies, and lather, rinse, repeat. Take a couple steps. And at first, it's pretty fun, because now you have all your sword techniques. This is the end of the game. You probably have 2 rows of hearts, and you can just go nuts, kill everything, use your skills. But after a while, when the light walls appear for like the 12th time, it's like, okay, I get it. I just, let's go.
Get kind of annoying at this point. I will say though, I like the fact that the front door is locked. It's just like, he's got all this power, but if we just simply lock the front door, he can't get through. He can't do shit. Literally cannot thwart us. Maybe put the key, in the courtyard somewhere? Destroy it, maybe. Destroy that key. He'll never be able to get in. But, sir, what about us? Oh, we can teleport. Who gives a shit?
It's like, attention, my minions. Please ensure that all puzzles are beatable before evacuating.
Surprise, bitch. Bet you thought you saw the last of me.
I really did. I've seen you burned, fall off cliffs, rammed by a pig. I'm pretty sure you spontaneously combust maybe once along the way. But you've taking quite the licking, yet keep on ticking.
Yeah, he reminds me of that one guy, I forget his actual name, from the Mask cartoon series, and by the Mask I mean the Jim Carrey thing, who just gets destroyed every episode, yet keeps coming back. He is the implacable bulbling king, so he is.
And he has a wonky cover box. That hammer not only covers parts of his front, but his sides at times can also be protected by his hammer. So the spin attack has to be not really timed, but you have to position yourself a bit more accurately if you want to get every hit on him.
That was a very smooth run. Good job, Tom. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
He's gonna say it because I won't. Just fucking take it.
Enough.
Piggy! You made it! You're alive! Oh, I'm so glad we had a happy conclusion to that. I'm good.
At least the bubbling king got a satisfying conclusion, even if Zant, the deuteragonist, or whatever the fuck you call something that gets usurped, didn't.
So we're now at 1-1 in terms of villains having good and bad endings.
In fact, I'm going to look up this term while you continue to talk about this castle.
Like I said, we're going to be dealing with the courtyard in multiple sections. So we're getting pretty much a 360 view of the castle before actually getting into it. Normally with Zelda, it's like, oh hey, sneaking through the back or walk straight up to the front. But this is a lot more engaging. There's not really that much in the castle courtyard, surprisingly. You would expect maybe a bit more of a topiary garden or something, but I guess Ganondorf had to change the actual taste of the Hyrule Castle decorum. And that is a really small door for a castle's front gate. Like, you would expect, like, giant swinging doors, but it's just your standard, like, that could be a bedroom door.
Okay, deuteragonist is the person second in importance to the protagonist in a drama, so I guess Midna in this case. Or maybe even Link, because, you know, he just moves the plot along, and the story is about Midna, first and foremost.
She is the title character. I mean, even it was supposed to be such a huge fucking shock when the sages said it. It's like, yeah, we fucked up, brah, oh, Twilight Princess, and you're like, oh my god, he dropped the title.
I love that red herring they threw when we first encountered Zelda, and Min's like, Twilight Princess, and they couldn't have made it more obvious if Midna looked to the camera and winked.
Which she physically, I'm pretty sure she's done that. I'm pretty sure she's broken the fourth wall and winked at the camera at some point. I'm gonna go back and look through all this footage.
Nah, man, I think you just like bullshitting though. Note the golden triangles on the lampstands.
No importance. Next.
I love this version of Hyrule Castle. It is the shortest dungeon in the game, but, you know, as a build-up to the final boss, I think it works really well. Because there's not any, like, contrived puzzles and the like, apart from maybe one room, or some alternate rooms which you don't even need to go into. It's mostly just going through a normal castle and, you know, taking it back, destroying enemies along the way.
Yeah, one problem with Ocarina of Time's Ganon Castle was that it was a bit too long. It does catch you completely off guard. I mean, you're getting the build-up of you're gonna save Zelda, you're gonna save the world, wait! Here's 6 trials for you to complete before you get to that. And it kind of, it's a bit jarring. And even then the puzzles aren't even all that difficult. I know it's supposed to be, you know, all the puzzles let you relive everything you've done so far at that point in the game. But you could have done 1 trial with 6 rooms instead of 6 trials. And then you had the climactic ascent up the tower. And then you got your final boss fight. So there's a lot of... It's a huge roadblock. Whereas with this, yeah, you do have a lot of fights blocking the way. But, you know, that's totally up to you on whether they will go quickly or not. And you're fighting all the way up. I mean, you're fighting up to a fight. So, you know, it's still building the tension.
Instead of locking the door with a puzzle, they kind of lock it with fights. And, you know, I think that suits Twilight Princess overall, but Hyrule Castle really shows off the flaw that they kind of casualized the game. They dropped the difficulty down for Wind Waker and did not bring it back up for this game, and that does not match the tone and the aesthetic, sadly.
It's like, you can have it run on the Wind Waker engine, but don't have it run on the Wind Waker mechanics.
Yeah. Skyward Sword also runs on the Wind Waker engine, and it's really obvious because Skyward Sword, pretty game, in part, but just imagine, like, remove the cell shading, or the watercolor shading, or whatever it is, and you basically see Twilight Princess Link.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to go for, like, it looks like a moving painting. And it's like, yeah, but a moving painting kind of looks like shit. Yeah, you can tell if, not even just by squinting your eyes can you tell, just the simple fact that all 3 games have back in time glitch. Like, that is essentially an identifying marker of the Wind Waker engine.
This room has a little trick to it, but first and foremost, we must remove the vermin. Goodbye.
At this point, we're just an exterminator. We're not a hero.
Now, you were saying about the soldiers, Mexi. Bad news, I'm afraid.
Oh. Well, that's macabre as shit.
That's morbid is what that is. I hope they're like the ancestors of the ones that are serving now, and they're just like locked up in a pantry or something, because all the gods are dead otherwise.
Man, I feel really bad for now making fun of those ones that were cowering in Telma's bar. They probably saw that shit. They're traumatized as fuck.
Yeah, like that fat, pudgy little god, the comic relief, he's probably dead right now. We never see him again.
Wow. I feel so bad. I'm a dick.
Oh no, not two dark nuts. This would be a real challenge if we hadn't already taken on 3 in the Cave of Ordeals, but you know what? Let's actually play smart this time. Go as far to the left of the room as you can, and as far enough forward before the knight will start following you. Then just back up, nice and slowly. Back up far enough so the other one won't get in on the action, and then it's time to brawl.
That strategy in my Zelda games. It's kind of weird that that's actually the exact opposite strategy than you should use with the Dark Nuts in the Ocarina of Time Ganon Tower. In that one, you want to just get behind them, hit both of them, and then just stab both of them at the same time over and over until they simultaneously die. I also still like the music. Like, obviously, because it's A Link to the Past music, but also because it's not like like just trying to be all dramatic. It's just, you know, you're in the castle. I mean, yeah, the situation is tense, but it's mostly just tense for you. The castle itself just stands there.
It's very ambient, and I think that juxtaposes nicely with, like you said, the scale and what's going on at this point in the game.
Man, that Cave of Ordeals really gave you some good training.
The Great Spin actually stuns them instantly, so I would recommend using that and then following up with a combo.
Note, to fight enemy in Twilight Princess, use one of many hidden skills to make it easy.
Kind of miss the Anubis-headed Dark Nuts, not gonna lie, but like I said, these are my favourite variants.
Yeah, Anubis Head much better than Brainwash Gerudo. Even though those are Iron Knuckles, but even in their codes, Dark Nuts I think are called Dark Fists in certain games' code. So even like within programming, they're meant to be similar, if not parallel enemies.
Alright, let's head on outside to one of the battlements.
Like I said, another great thing is that we're not just in the castle. We're getting a pretty decent view of everything. Which is weird because one of the first things in this game we got was a good view of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, yeah. This looks a little bit dicey, but nothing we can't handle. I mean, we've got the magic armor. Oh no, an arrow!
Oh, it's not like we haven't been pelted by a million of those.
Really? That wouldn't even, like, taken off half a heart's worth of damage.
It wouldn't, because this is Twilight Princess.
Kaboom! Oh, could it be? I think it is. It's Russell!
Aw, snap! Wait, where's his cock?
Viva la resistance, I'm going to ignore that.
Hey, you did a thing. Can you do that a couple more times? That would be really helpful.
It looks like, hey, what's up? I could have handled that. You know, descendant of the hero of time and all. Keeper of the hidden skills. Keeper of the Triforce of Courage. But you've got a bazooka, that's cool.
You don't even need the Master Sword, just the hidden skills. That's all. You could do the hidden skills with the stick we got in the first game and it would still be OP as fuck.
Okay, we got the big key, but we need a small key to carry on, so let's head on to the other side, where a Aerophos is waiting for us, I believe.
That's really out of place.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just throw more Dark Nuts. I mean, at this point, I really wouldn't hate on the game too much if there was a Dark Nut in every single room.
It makes sense that they'd have, like, flying enemies up top, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have troops set up despite the entire castle being encased in a giant light crystal. Kind of makes me wonder where they were set up before the light crystal, because Zelda was captured. She was held up in the castle, so I guess when Zant took over, that's when they moved in. There's a huge, weird timeline of who did what at what time to conquer all of Hyrule. But in the end, all you need to know is that shit went down, and now Link's gotta fix it.
Well, it's a good job the Hyrule Castle pantry was stocked, because obviously these guys must have a really fast metabolism compared to Hylians and the like.
They just ate the weaker enemies.
We ate nothing but maggoty bread for 3 stinking days.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Well, it's not meant to be nice, mate. It's full of maggots.
No.
Behold, the final small key.
Glorious.
There are actually more small keys, and I believe you need one of them, and you have to go out of your way to get it, to find a secret room which is full of, like, money and fairies and such, which you can use for the final boss, which you won't need. I'm just going to tell you that now.
Ooh, fairies and money.
We brought the fairies back to the springs so we could get 4 of them if we wanted, but ooh.
And there's rupees literally everywhere, so... Oh, hey, City in the Sky room. Cool.
Yeah, music change as well. Follow the dead people, they know the way.
That's sad.
Literally, the paths of the dead.
This is actually a neat puzzle. Like, legit puzzle, not just, hey, light this torch. This is kind of cool, I like this.
This is very nightmare-esque. Like, step to your left. Oh, you mean your right? No, your other left.
Dead.
Better transform back into the biped. And the reason I had the claw shots is because I was getting my sections mixed up. It's actually the next broken staircase where you need them.
Oh, I thought it was because he looks so snazzy.
Yeah, look at me, snippity snap. The clamps!
You gonna get the clamps?
Oh, what a shock.
And spin dead.
Great Spin just destroyed these guys. Because the Lizalfos here, and also the red bokoblins, are kind of those enemies that take like 2 phases to kill properly if you don't get them with the fatal stabby stab or whatever. So the Great Spin just kills them instantly, it's great.
This is also kind of cool that these targets aren't actual targets, they're just, you know, the metal casing around the candles. It's really cool. A lot of really cool design choices in this dungeon. They didn't go too far out of their way to make it dungeon-y. I mean, I say that right before a hallway, that's literally, why would this be in a castle? How do people even traverse this? But, outside of this one instance, everything feels very organic.
I'm sorry, okay? I can't help it.
That was funny, though.
Yeah.
Nice timing puzzle, bro.
Oh, yeah. Now you're going to see the proest of pro strats here. I'm going to take a mistake and turn it into a way to go fast.
That is how... That's amazing. Thank you.
Okay, watch this shit. You ready? You ready?
Ow.
Psych! Fooled you!
Oh, snap! You know those tactics. Twilight Princess has not only deepest lore, but deepest combat. It's like platinum game tier at this point.
Dude is so legit shook he has no idea how to counter my attacks.
Oh, but now he's fast, so just keep poking him.
Man, they really didn't factor in the backslice when it came to programming difficult AI for these guys.
No. Like, either make the hidden skills way more hidden, like not just along the path, or make the enemies more resistant to hidden skills. One or the other. It was an easy thing to fix.
And since this is the final boss, I will need to create what is essentially a save state here, so I can go back and fix things should the battle go south. But that's it for today, guys. Please join us next time for a little bit of a short part where we take on the final boss. See you then.